Hi everybody, it's Matt from DrawingTutorialsOnline.com, and I just want to share with you what we did today in class, or at least part of what we did in class. So let's check it out. Basically, my theme today in class, we spoke about line quality, but a side note to the line quality is what I usually wind up doing when I work on my drawings is I'm teaching most of the time, and then I try to sneak in like a 10-minute drawing in between teaching the students just to keep my eye-hand coordination going. And what happens to me is I do these small little studies. Okay, so look at how big my pad is. That's like my big pad, and look how small that drawing is. I mean, I like the drawing. It looks pretty cool. Today we spoke about line quality. So I love all like the line going on over here in the knee area, and that has a lot of dimension. And I also like that little study that I did in like a minute or so of the breast. So what happens when you do these things is you get really stiff, and then you wind up doing these small drawings all the time. So here's another example. This one is another small drawing that I did. I mean, this was more of like a demo page, and I was talking about line and what to do, what not to do. But basically, I'm drawing small and stiff. The drawing's not stiff, but when you draw small, I guess what I'm trying to say is that you draw with your fingers and not your arm. And when you draw just with your fingers, your drawings tend to get stiff, okay? So on to the next page. This was just something that I did out of my imagination very quickly for everyone drawing a little bit bigger. I forced everybody to draw much bigger. And this was just a 20-minute study that I made them all try. So I said, you know, give me 3 inches from the top, 3 inches from the side, 3 inches from the bottom. And what I want you to do is I want you to be much more bold with your drawings. I want you to create a foreground and a background. I want you to have one area that's really busy, one area that's really empty, but compose the image, compose it in a space. And today we didn't talk about composition at all. I wanted them to compose with their gut and with, you know, what they already know, with their intuition. But the third element that I had them do, because they just have such an issue, and I have this issue too in terms of the stiffness sometimes when you work small, I made them add this tertiary element in, which I just made them zigzag these circles to create like texture. And I did it in my drawing over there too, and I said that put bubbles around the drawing. Just put bubbles in there. It sounds silly, but I wanted them to do some type of continuous line texture in the drawing, because everyone started drawing really stiff, really small, and that's an instant way to loosen you up. And you can just pretend that there's a bunch of bubbles floating around. It could be a texture on a wallpaper. It could be anything that you want. So basically, here's another little one where I was doing this drawing of the model myself, and I just started scribbling in those bubbles, and that gave me the idea to have the students do it. So what's my drawing tip of the week this week? My drawing tip of the week is to be careful that you don't get in a rut by doing the same thing over and over and over again. Mix it up. Draw with your arm, not just your fingers, okay? Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.